Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I have the first designer haul of the new year. Super exciting. It's actually a collective haul from a couple different shopping trips that I've done, and most notably there are a couple of pieces that I picked up from my recent trip to Woodbury. I've also been getting some questions about Woodbury and whether it's worth it, so I'll touch upon that as I go through those pieces as well. I don't have too much to get through, but you know I can chat a bit, so I'm going to jump right into it. For those of you tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on some of these pieces that I picked up. All of your support really means a lot to me. So let me start with the Woodbury bits. I went to Woodbury the day after Christmas, actually. It was pretty busy, but it wasn't as busy as I sort of thought it would be, but it was pretty populated, especially as we got into early afternoon. There were definitely a lot more people than when we first got there, but overall it didn't feel too overwhelming. Almost every store had a line though, I'm not going to lie. Like most of the brand name stores did have a line, but it did mean the inside of the store wasn't overly crowded. My top tip, if it's your first time going there, take a look through all of the brands that they offer and shortlist the places that you want to go. Woodbury's pretty large. They have different courtyards, if you will. They can be pretty far apart. So it's good to take a look at where they are on the map so that you know what clusters of stores you can go to and you can visit. If you're mostly interested in going to like the super high-end stores like your Dior, Fendi, Bottega, Gucci, Saint Laurent, and Givenchy, I would argue that those are relatively in the same area. If you extend it a little bit further, then you'd get to where the Balenciaga and Isabel Marant is as well. So that's the main strip that I like to go for. That has like the majority of the stores that I'm interested in visiting. But I do know they have like an All Saints outlet, but that one's pretty far away, so I don't go there all the time. And they have, you know, your staples like your Nike, your Adidas, and all of those brands as well. Those are a bit further away. And there's also like Zimmermann, Sandro, Maj. They have those brands in a different section. Marni and Versace are in a different area. Burberry and Ferragamo are in a different area. So you see what I'm saying? So like, take a look through the brands that they have and map them out so that you can figure out which area you want to go to first. With all of the lines now, you definitely want to be a little strategic about where you want to go, because you might not, like, just because you ran there like 10 minutes before the store closes doesn't mean you'll be able to actually make it in there because of the line situation. That's my top tip, really, is to make sure that you can get the most out of your time at Woodbury. I think I talked about Woodbury for like 5 minutes, didn't I? Before I even showed you what I got there. So let me start with Givenchy. Ta-da! This is my second Givenchy item. My very first Givenchy item are a pair of white boots that I got from Macy's a couple of years ago, and I actually got them on sale. They were like the last pair in my size, and it was like 60% off. So I was like, okay, I have to get these. Outside of that, oh, I have one lipstick. Does that count? But I don't really shop a lot at Givenchy. My boyfriend wanted to go into Givenchy to check out the menswear collection, the first Matthew Williams menswear collection. Typically, the collections in the outlet boutiques will be a full year old. So it would be last year, fall, winter is like the latest collection that's in the outlet boutique. Of course, they might have some pieces that are even older than that, but that's like a general rule of thumb. Like, think about last year, like a solid 12 months ago, what was the collection in stores? That's pretty much what's going to be in the boutiques. So the Matthew Williams collection for men's was there, and while he was looking, I was just browsing, and then I fell in love with this piece. If you watched my luxury wishlist video, you've actually already seen this piece, because ta-da, it is this headband. I've been interested in getting an embellished headband for a while. I've been looking at a few different brands. I wasn't particularly looking at like super luxury brands or anything like that. I was just looking at brands that are well known for making hair accessories. I was just looking all over the place. So far, hadn't found one that I was like, ooh, I really like that one. This is what it generally looks like once you put it on. But the fame to claim for this headpiece is actually, it's the same headband that Gal Gadot wore when she went to the Met Gala a couple years ago. There you have it. That's what the sales associate told me as I was buying this piece. But what I really loved about this piece was A, it's pretty substantial, but it's not like an overbearing heavy weight to it. B, it fits my head pretty comfortably. Sometimes the shape can be where it's like super narrow, you know, and so it's like you put it on for 5 minutes and you get a headache. It's like not fun. C, it's a combination of pearls and rhinestones without being, I think, without being too much, like too gaudy. So it's like 2 tracks of rhinestones with 3 different sized imitation pearls in like the middle. I just loved that it had like a good amount of like variety in there. It wasn't like the same size pearl either. There was some mixture in there. So I just really liked this piece, and it was excellent price. So this particular piece was on additional 40% off sale. So the original I think was like around $700. It was like $695 or $720, something like that. Then there was like an initial sale price, and then it was 40% off of that. So I got it for just over $200 with tax. I think it was like $225-ish, which I thought was really great for this type of embellished headbands. Like we all know how the prices can get pretty crazy as there's more detail on here. So I thought that was a really good deal. And this was the last piece there. So I was like, okay, I think this is meant to be. Literally, Givenchy was the first store that we walked into, and I was like, am I gonna buy this right now? I'm like, yes, because I'm not waiting in line again to come back in here later. So I'm like, I'm just gonna buy it now. I know I want this. We did go to a bunch of other stores. The other place that I did actually pick something up was Isabel Marant. Every time I talk about Woodbury, I think I pick something up from Isabel Marant, because honestly, I feel like the Isabel Marant store there is like the hidden gem, okay? It's the hidden gem. This top is what I picked up from Isabel Marant, and it is this gray, exaggerated shoulder, button-down top. And it has concealed buttons, but the buttons themselves look like they're like a mother of pearly, they're kind of pearlescent. And they are all push button closures. I love the shape. There is something about this shape, I think, with the slightly exaggerated shoulders, but then the kind of V cut that happens at the hem, I feel like it helps make you look very slender. At least it does for me. It might work for my body type better, but because I tend to carry more of my weight in my upper body, I don't have that much waist definition. But I put this on and I was like, do I have like a little waist right now? I can also wear this totally open, like it's almost like a little jacket that I threw over. So it can also be a really great layering piece. Felt like this was really great for work as well. You can wear it as a work blouse, but also really good for just your day-to-day. It's like a slightly elevated casual look, you know? I think this was 70% off. So the Isabel Marant store has both Isabel Marant as well as Isabel Marant Etoile as well as Isabel Marant Men's, all in the same store. They have footwear and jewelry as well. And every time I go, typically there is an extra sale promotion going on depending on the color of the sticker that is on the price tag. So it's like, I'm making this up because it can be different when you go, but it's like blue is 50% off, red is 60% off, and green is 70% off or something like that. And those are percentage off retail. I think I got this for like $270 after it was 70% off. Original price was like $800 something. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of story time about the one other piece that I was really interested in, that I was really thinking about, which is why I didn't buy so much when I was at Isabel Marant. And I promise it's a little bit relevant because it leads into my next item. I walked into Brunello Cucinelli. At the women's store, I saw this gorgeous teddy coat. It's a cropped, slightly oversized teddy jacket that was so cute. So cute. The teddy itself was so gorgeous. It was so fluffy. It was so nice. Brunello was also running an extra sale on their merchandise. So I think it was like 30 or 40% off the ticketed price. So the jacket was originally like somewhere in the 5,000s range, and it was coming out to 1,200-ish. 11 or 1,200-ish, which, like, if you think about it, is like a really big discount, right? Like, that's pretty big. I loved it. As soon as I tried it on, I was like, man, I really like this. But at the moment, I was a little bit like, I don't know if I really want to spend that much money. I don't wear a lot of tan or browns that much in my, like, I don't have that color a lot in my wardrobe. So I was like, do I want to get something that's on the pricier side that is in a color that I know that I don't wear that often? Like, I was thinking about all of these things. I left it, right? I went to other stores. I checked out other places. While we were leaving, we were passing by Brunello again. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna have to try it on one more time. Now, usually when I go back to a store like this, it means that I'm like 100% going to buy this thing, right? And I was so close to doing it, but I was really trying to be a responsible adult. And I was like, you know what? Let me just think about it overnight. I was thinking about this coat a lot, but I must have known that there was something better down the horizon, like not too far away. So I decided not to get it. So then fast forward a few days, I'm in the city and I have a little bit of time to kill before I have dinner. And so I just pop into Saks. I just pop in because I figured I can stay warm while I'm browsing through, and it's kind of easy to go from here and there without having to bother too many people while you're kind of meandering and just looking around. So popped into Saks, and then it happened. Okay, the moment happened. I saw something on the mannequin and I was like, okay, well, if it's on the mannequin, it's definitely not going to be on sale. Guys, on sale. It was on sale. There was one and it was in my size. So I'll show you the back first because it'll make the branding very clear. So this is from Maison Margiela. It rang up as shirting. So it's sort of like a long sleeve button down oversized shirt that has some padding in it to make it extra warm. You can see it feels like a blanket, literally. This outer, it feels so soft and cozy and snuggly like a blanket. So you see like this polyester lining because there's fill. It has really small buttons like you would see on a button-down shirt, and it has like your kind of standard collar that you would see on a shirt, as well as the little pocket right here. The sleeves also have like a little cuff that looks like it's a shirt. This was only 40% off or something like that from the original price. So it was about, with tax, it was like $780. It was a little bit less than the Brunello coat, and it was in a style that I know I will wear. Like, as soon as I tried it on, you know when you get that familiar feeling when you put something on and you kind of know it's gonna work for you? That's the feeling I got with this one. With the Brunello piece, as much as I liked it, I knew that I would have to sort of make myself wear it. Like, I'd have to be creative in my outfits to figure out how I'm going to wear it. That one has more work associated with it for it to get incorporated into my wardrobe, while this one is just like pure comfort. Like, I will know how to be able to wear this. I will be able to style it in lots of different ways very comfortably. It's in a color palette that I know I wear. Sometimes I'm definitely more in the mood to like take those kinds of risks, but something about this one was just so soft and comfortable that I knew this was a better choice for me to make. So honestly, this one, I didn't even debate that much. I wasn't like umming and ahhing, oh my gosh, what should I do? I tried it on and immediately I was like, oh my gosh, this is a good one to get. Super, super excited about it. I'm going to see if I can find links to this because I feel like everybody needs one of these in their closets, like ASAP. And it's also super warm. I know I can ramble on for so long and you might feel like the story was really useless, but I wanted to share this story because I hope it helps illustrate my thought process a little bit more. I'm trying to get to a place where I can better articulate that yummy feeling that I get. But because these two happened so close in timing, I felt like it was a good example to show like why I had some hesitancy over one, and then what made something like an instant yes. I have a couple more items to share and then I'm done. And this white bag indicates, of course, that it's a beauty item. Some of you may know recently that Chanel launched a brand new skincare line. It's called Number One. It uses red camellia extract. That's like the primary ingredient throughout the line. And the whole skincare line is made with sustainability at the forefront. So a lot of the packaging is looking to reduce waste wherever possible or make things refillable where possible, and just all of that good stuff. It's also been a really long time since Chanel has launched a new skincare line. I think they were saying Hydra Beauty might have been the latest one. And that's a while ago. Like, we've all heard of Hydra Beauty like for a while. So I was really excited to check it out. I was invited to the launch event at the Atelier Beauté down at Soho. So that's where I went to check out the collection. And I will share more in my vlog. I'll share some snippets of that in my vlog and I'll go into more detail there for sure. But this is what I picked up from the collection because I had never seen Chanel do a mist before. So this is called a serum in mist. And it's actually a biface. So there's a 20% oil, 80% water. That's why you'll see there's a little separation. So you're supposed to shake it up and then spritz it all over your face. And I thought this was really good for the winter time. The other day I was just going on a stroll outside because I like to do like daily walks. And my face was like stinging by the time I came back inside. And I was like, that's not good. So I feel like something like this at least can be good for spritzing right before I leave because I might have moisturized like, you know, 10 hours ago. So at least I can add some extra moisture, pat it in, and then go out for my walk, come back and, you know, just have this on hand so that I can re-moisturize throughout the day. And the last thing I want to mention is actually from Ana Luisa. No, this is not a video that's in partnership with Ana Luisa, but I actually repurchased an item because I lost one of my earrings. I was so sad. Anytime I thought of putting an outfit together afterwards, I was like, oh, like those earrings would look really good with this outfit. I don't have them anymore. And there were so many times where that was happening that I was like, you know what? I think I just have to repurchase. I actually will buy these earrings for myself. And those are these hoops. I think these are called the low and they're the medium size. I'd say they're about a quarter size. And I find that they're just the perfect size, really. They're not too big, but they're not like Huggies because as much as I like Huggies, sometimes I feel like they might not have as much impact, you know, like I have a lot of hair and I have long hair, so sometimes it's hard to see my earrings. It's just the right size. They're really light. They're very comfortable. And literally they just got delivered today and I wore them today. I was like, oh, I was so excited they were back. I feel like that's saying something. So that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this collective haul. I feel like there was more talking in this haul video than there was actually showing the pieces, but I hope you still found it helpful. I like to share some more context behind why I get some of the pieces because it's not so much about the actual piece. Even though, of course, if I can find links to any of this stuff, I will put it in the description box so you guys can check them out too. But I want to be able to impart more of like the thought process and the steps I go through to make a purchase decision. And it's not just like, look at what I got, look at what I got, look at what I got. So let me know what you think. Like, let me know if you feel like they're too chatty, you'd rather see more product, or you need more context to be able to understand that more. So just like, let me know. I'm always here for your feedback. And, you know, we're kicking off a new year, so I definitely want to make sure the content is, you know, kind of setting off on the right foot. I'm also thinking about doing a video where I share the key questions I ask myself before I make a purchase decision, especially like a big purchase, and how that helps ensure I have like a really curated collection. So let me know if you'd be interested in that video in the comment section down below. If you have any questions on any of these items or really anything at all, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time,